Hi everybody, it's Lisa Marie here, living the sweet life with the Sweet Life DIY Jessie Tree. And today is a really cool ornament. Today we're going to be talking about Daniel and the lion. And I remember as a child listening to this story in Sunday school and Vacation Bible School. And so the reading for today is going to be Daniel 6 through 28. And I'm going to put this on our tree. And then I'm going to tell you the story about Daniel and the lion. So Daniel was a really cool dude. He loved God and he worshiped him and he prayed to him all the time. He prayed to him at least 3 times a day. And he was really, really dedicated and devoted to the point where he was going to just do it, whether or not it was the law or not. And people were really jealous. And the king liked Daniel, but they were jealous of him because they just didn't really understand what was going on. And so they convinced the king to make a little law that said that if you prayed to anybody else but him, that you would be sentenced to death. And so what happened was he got caught doing it. And then whenever he got caught, the king really still liked him and didn't want to sentence him to death. So he put him in a den with a lion, and the lion did not hurt Daniel. So this is the story about Daniel and the lion. Then these presidents and satraps assembled together to the king and said thus to him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the deputies and the satraps, the counselors and the governors have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a strong decree that whoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, except of you, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing that is to not be changed according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which doesn't alter. And therefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree as well. When Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house. Now his windows were open in his room towards Jerusalem, and he kneeled on his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as he had always done. Then these men assembled together and found Daniel making petitions and supplications before God. And they came near him and spoke before the king concerning the king's decree. Haven't you signed a decree that every man who shall make petition to any god or man within 30 days, except of you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered, The thing is true according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed. Then they answered, and they said before the king, Daniel, who is of the children of the captivity of Judea, doesn't respect you, O king, nor the decree that you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day. The king then said, when he heard these words, he was very upset. He set his heart on Daniel to deliver him, and he made every effort until the sun went down to save him. Then these men assembled together to the king and said to the king, Know, O king, that it is a law of the Medes and Persians, that no decree nor statute which the king establishes may be repealed or changed. Then the king commanded that they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. The king spoke and said to Daniel, Your God, whom you serve continuously, will deliver you. A stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that nothing might be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep fled from him, which means he didn't sleep. He was so upset about having to do that to Daniel. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and when he went into haste into the den of lions. And when he came near to the den to Daniel, he cried with a lamented voice, and the king spoke and said to Daniel, Daniel, servant of the living God, is your God, whom you serve continually, able to deliver you from the lions? Then Daniel said to the king, O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel and has shut the lions' mouths, and they have not hurt me, because as before him innocence was found in me, and also before you, O king, I have done no wrong. Then was the king exceedingly glad, and commanded that he should be taking Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no kind of harm was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. The king commanded, and they brought those men who had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives. And the lions mauled them, and broke all their bones in pieces before they came to the bottom of the den. Then the king Darius wrote to all the peoples, nations, and languages who dwell in all the earth. Peace be multiplied to you. I make a decree that in all the dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and steadfast forever. His kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even to the end. He delivers and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and in earth. Who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Daniel 6:6-28. And this wonderful little special special prayer that the girls have done on these beautiful ornaments. It says, as you protected Daniel from the mouths of the lion, may you protect us from the snares of all that is evil. And so it's just a wonderful story about belief and trust and hope and faith, and knowing that even in the hardest of times, if you put yourself in a position where you really, really believe and you really, really steadfastly stay true to your faith and to the Lord, that he will get you through all things. So a really important lesson for us to teach the children, and a really important lesson for us to learn ourselves. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. This Jessie tree has been a remarkable project. If you have, do me a favor and like and share. Don't forget to ring the bell, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.